The local index looking set to open some weaker global market trade with sentiment still fragile ahead of the U.S. non-farm payrolls expected later this week. Now, Makwe Masilela is Chief Investment Officer at Makwe Fund Managers, and he speaks to us now. Mr. Masilela, thank you very much for your patience. I know you've been waiting for a little bit. Take us through how the local bourse has opened this morning.
Good morning. Unfortunately, our local market just joined what's happening in Europe and in Asia. We opened down in the negative, all because we are worried about the U.S. Treasury yields, which are continuing to go up. As we've seen now, they've just touched 1.56%, and that itself gives you concerns about inflation. And as we are worried about inflation, people will start thinking that interest rates will be going up anytime soon, and then we expect the U.S. probably to move earlier than other central bankers. Hence, you continue to see the dollar to strengthen, and then that's also negative for the rand. And back home here, industrials are the ones which are dragging us down, with the likes of Richmond and Espas being in a negative.
Yeah. In the wake of the NUMSA strike on the metals and engineering sector, now we're seeing COSATU weighing in, calling for organized labor to join in the strike. This is all in an effort to try and apply pressure both on government and the private sector to fix the economic mess that South Africa finds itself in. How severe will these political economic disruptions be, particularly when it comes to investor sentiment?
If we have to refer back to what we've seen in 2014, then definitely we don't want the strike to continue for any time long. I remember in 2014 it lasted for almost 4 weeks, and then I think per day we're losing anything between 300 million to 500 million when it comes to the sector. And when it comes to the general economy, we lost almost 6 billion rands. So we don't want that to take forever. We hope the guys will find each other very soon. And the COSATU one, which is happening tomorrow, we just hope it's going to be a one-day affair, and that's it. And as we have seen that the employers, when it comes to the metals and steel sector, they're prepared to talk to the guys, even though they're saying they're well prepared compared to 2014. They'll continue to be able to supply your automotive sector, your mining, your construction sector, but we'll still have to see how much supply do they have themselves to be able to cope with the strike. But we hope the guys find each other very, very soon. And guys, you need to bear in mind that the guys in the sector last year, they didn't receive any salary increase.
Let's talk company news now. Sanlam and Absa announcing that Sanlam would acquire Absa's investment management business. Now, this is likely to increase the Sanlam Investments' total assets under management to more than 1 trillion rand. This transaction, in Dr. Masilela, will result in Absa holding 17.5% in Sanlam Investments. Talk us through this partnership and what will it mean for the Absa Sanlam BEE status?
I think it's going to result in Sanlam Investment Holdings being the largest black-owned asset management company. Remember that the ARC, which is owned by Mr. Motsepe, they own 25% of Sanlam as it is now. But yes, as you said, their assets under management will just be over 1 trillion. But our concern here is, if you look at the black asset management companies themselves, together 52 of them or so, they just manage just around 700 billion. So you have one big guy who will be managing over 1 trillion thereof, and this is an industry which is valued at over 6 trillion rands. So yes, it's a good thing for Absa and for Sanlam shareholders, but for the sector itself, still a lot has to be done to make sure that it gets to be transformed.
Yeah, finally, according to the PwC South Africa, this is now the Mine 2021 report, AngloGold Ashanti has been bumped off the list of South Africa's top 10 mining companies and replaced by Royal Bafokeng Platinum. Talk us through these developments.
You know, if you look at that top 10, here you've got diversified miners, people who don't just mine gold. Guys who've been just mining gold, you just have the likes of Harmony, which are still there, all because totally what the guys are doing here, they take the market value of your company. And the market value of your company is determined by the number of shares that you have in issue and the share price. And what will help the share price going up is when you make profits. What will make you make profits? That's when whatever you are selling, you are getting good returns. And we've seen over the past 12 months or so, when it comes to the likes of the PGM, the platinums, iron ore prices have been going up. Hence, you look at the likes of Impala itself as an example. I mean, they managed to double their market value in almost a year. So the likes of Royal Bafokeng have managed to grow into by market share, and unfortunately, hence there gets to be admitted, and the likes of Anglo Gold Ashanti, they have to fall off because of the market share, and gold prices have not been doing well compared to other commodity prices.
Sure. Let me squeeze this one in very briefly. Volvo recalling more than 460,000 vehicles worldwide over what they say is the airbag component risk. What's this going to mean for the company?
I think they're talking to me and you, because they're talking about the guys who are driving the old Volvos. These are the cars were manufactured between 2001 and 2009, and half of those cars, they happen to be in the US. But generally, it doesn't bode well for any company to have a recall, because going forward, people will be skeptical. I think what will work for Volvo is that it has been known for being good when it comes to safety generally.
Yeah, Makwe Masilela, thank you very much for that markets update. He is Chief Investment Officer at Makwe Fund Managers.